Hello, everybody. Hope you guys had a lovely night. Welcome back to another UTES stream. We have another exciting show for you guys. It's our Valorant Intramurals once again. This will be the round 3 of Intramurals today. And of course, it's the best of 1 series. And let's do a quick introduction. My name is Eli, and I'll be one of your casters for tonight.
And I am Monkey Man. I am going to be one of those Americans crawling over the border to, be with Z-Lion tonight. It is fantastic to be in the booth with you, Z-Lion, as we get to see some intramurals coming up live and loud.
It's definitely going to be super, super fun. Again, this is a very low stakes, just intramurals, showcase some of the wonderful talent that we have here on the Valorant server here. And yeah, so let's get into the introductions of our teams. Team 1, we got Saucy's Posse's coming in, and let's introduce the little teammates that they have. Vern is going to be on the Sentinel, Chubbers on Controller, Batchess as the Initiator, cannot get a name on Duelist, and of course, FS00004 is going to be on Duelist.
Sounds like a really cool Spartan if I was playing some Halo. But on the other side of the map from them is going to be Aiden's e-Kittens, a meow, as they will be with Aiden, of course, on the Flex, Halo on the Duelist, Carrier on the Sentinel. Max is going to be playing some of those smokes, be that controller otherwise, and then Illicites will be your Duelist. They're going to try and bring that heat and that pressure out there onto the map. So a 10 set here, Z-Lion, of some great players moving into this intramural, and they're going to be playing on a big map as well, as they have to take it to the sands and find.
If anyone is an avid Valorant watcher, I definitely want to see Yoru played a lot more on Bind, and especially in these intramurals, that would definitely be quite interesting.
Yeah, Yoru has their full kit that really makes them difficult to kind of track down. They're such an escape artist, depending on how they go through the teleporters. You can throw the gate crash. If you're playing from Garden over towards B, you can immediately interject back over towards A, and you really have cross-map pressure for Yoru's. Now, the difference, though, is Yoru is a jokester. He's a kidder. He is just a wild card, and if you don't play him well, he's useless. So, if they choose to be brave into these intramurals here, Z-Line, and get onto Yoru, they really are going to be showcasing a lot of skill. Other than that, though, it's going to be also playing the parent, who is going to be a Sentinel, is going to be a Deadlock, a Cypher. Deadlock has really come back into their own, especially when it comes to holding down B site like Cyphers really can. But Vise has done much the same in their entry into the game.
And definitely speaking about, the different agents too, I definitely think controllers are really important as well, especially with the Viper nerfs that came in. You can't pick up those orbs anymore. So, and as well as like the smoke duration has gone down, whether or not the players decide to pick maybe a double controller comp to kind of make up for that, lack of a Viper potentially, or maybe just like pick another smokes like a Clove or an Omen for, one of those like a little stronger smoke that has been nerfed yet, right? So that's definitely going to be interesting too.
Yeah, I feel like Viper's death has been greatly exaggerated. They definitely have a more permanent poison orb, but we're going to get into it right now as we're going to showcase to you exactly who is picking what. And make sure you guys are getting out there as Saucy's Posse get live and loud. Aiden's e-Kittens, make sure to meow. And we're going to see what this agency does come up with. And Z-Lion, I feel like you're not going to be too wrong at all when it comes to how we identify which controllers, but it's also about being lethal. And already we see two picked up early.
And you were mentioning the chamber earlier, and we do see that chamber being insta-locked there on the attacker side right there with Saucy's Posse, with that chamber locked in, as well as Raze. Raze is quite the popular pick on Bind, always a very good classic. Yorga, we did see Aiden's e-Kittens play last week, if anyone who were, participating in the streams last week saw, and Yorga did pop off on Yoru. So whether that pop-off will kind of be replicated tonight and Bind, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing on this as well, in opposite of the pace set that you can get out of a Raze, we have an ISO. I know Ice favorite French girl is out there in the chat, and apparently they're going to be icing it up here on Ice. Oh, but Georgia's floating and now locking in. You wanted a Yoru, you're getting a Yoru. They've got the same controller on either side, and this one's going to come down to execution, double controllers rather for the defense of Aiden's e-Kittens, whereas we've got the ultimate pressure of a double duelist on the attack out of Saucy's Posse. This is going to be a wave crashing against the cliff.
Yeah, quite interesting that there's no sentinel being chosen by, the defenders there, the Aiden's e-Kittens. But again, with that Viper pick, because Viper got nerfed a lot, I'm very glad to see that second controller come in as well to help out, keeping hold of that site or even just taking space. Potentially one of the controllers, like a Viper, would play that kind of lurk smoke kind of role that we usually see on a lurk sentinel on attack. But I am really looking forward to this game.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game. I feel like especially seeing the attack of a chamber can be a little rough, and that's why you have to be enabled by the immediacy of getting lethal with your Raze, and especially with an ISO. And that can be very difficult off of the ISO because they have that vulnerability to be able to push with that wall as well. So it is going to be tough, but that has to be identified by these lanes that they go for. We go into round number 1. Seems like they're going to leave one lurking, a 4-man rush, or at least checking the corridors here for B.
Yorga holding a shorty off the bat first round. Pistol close in hookah, just making sure, okay, maybe they won't clear me out here. Maybe I can get one. But with 2 people going towards hookah, will that pay off in the end? Oh, no! The whiffs are coming in. Pooptags gets the kill onto Yorga right there.
They put their clone out, and it was enough of a distraction, but they can't quite land it even with a short shotgun. So one falling here for the defense of e-Kittens, as they know everyone is being funneled into position, but they have one player behind enemy lines as Carry is around into that elbow, but they have to be able to navigate. Talk screen is in fact up, so they can take away that sideline, but they're just dumping the boom bot, and they're waiting for a pick for some pressure. They're going to throw nades out and see if they can rush forward in. Clap of the hands. A quick kill, and now becomes a 3-1 and done. And that's gonna be the first one here for Saucy's Posse.
Attackers were doing quite well there, not just, that kind of clear towards hookah, but also the post plan afterwards too. They did come off of site, 1 or 2 people, 1 person towards long, 1 person to hookah, just to make sure the flank is clear, but they didn't do it at the risk of, allowing for a lot of space or, a lot of aggression to come from that retake side, right? So really good job in that post plan, and yeah, despite the dizzy coming out, just could not keep them fully back and get that defuse down.
I mean, it's tough too because all your numbers are going to be going into these funnel points. Now you have to deal with a very low buy. They're going to go into the full save, which is the right call, especially now. But Saucy's Posse, especially with Saucy right now, they can go into that headhunter and really conserve a lot of early eco. So they're going to take that ult orb. Ice is going to be building up towards that kill contract, but the arsenal diff is going to become very paramount, especially as cannot get a name, is going to go deep into mid site.
Fast take once again, playing full retake on the e-Kittens, but Ice
Ooh.
gets a pick onto a low below, bringing the numbers down. 1-5 versus 4 as they're playing slowly but surely, but not quite dizzy getting anyone. Poop Tax gets 2, Ice gets 1, 1v5 looking pretty impossible, but Yorka's shots are clean, gets 1, just could not
Oh,
finish the last person.
that one was so close. They actually caught one by behind. You know what? Considering that it was a full save, they actually had onto that lurk. Now they've shown at least one card here, Z-Line, is that they did encroach from that long B kind of flank. This is going to be a very strong bonus. The one player that did get off did have a weapon. There was some headhunter shots, and you can tell that this chamber is going to be building up into their ultimate very quickly, especially onto that tour de force. But it does look like they're going to down check, at least face check into A. And I enjoy that they are going to these 4-1 splits to really corral a lot of this position. But the buy up right now is for the defense of the e-Kittens.
I do want to see a little bit more aggression towards the shower, especially with that wall from Viper. Allows a lot of space to be taken. Aiden's kind of, peeking left or right, trying to see if we can get a little of information. A little bit too
Uh-oh.
close, so Aiden's gets away by this chinny hair, the chinny chin chin. And Ice is trying to come out. Shield is broken, however. Shots are not quite connecting. All good. 4v5. Attackers are down 1, and defenders are parked on their site. Quite patient.
They're expecting this to be a rotation. Something about too much pressure, especially into the short side of A. So you just kind of take your time. You have that spike traveling towards it, but look who's kind of chilling with it. Cannot get a name. Hanging out right behind that step box, just trying to make sure that if anything does kind of go that direction, that it ends up caught right into their Spectre. And Carry is just going to be chilling here in Garden. So a split function, cannot get a name, does go down. So now it's a commitment. You have to go all in on B.
Ooh, Carrier gets a kill onto Ice as well. 1 versus 4. Clean. Low finishes Saucy. And that's going to finish. Defenders win their first round.
Okay, so they had the Arsenal diff there, even with a 4-man bonus. We go into big rifle round, and so they make sure to at least check into that short side. I think their Z-line, that one could have been the biggest kind of pivot point if it were to happen, but cannot get a name. Got found right behind box. So we go into round number 4 as traditional as can be. Biggest thing that we have: Seekers and kill contract. That's a lot of both post and pre-plant pressure.
And as they're kind of going for that kind of long presence once again, they are going into 3 people stacked on B. They did go for that more so lean towards that B site, and with them inching closer, kill contracts gonna try to get someone. Ice does end up getting one person. It's a 1v1, and Ice is just on full. Oh, it just beats Aiden to the ground. Yorga gets one as well. 3v3, a low on site by himself. But Poop Tax playing the very patient game gets one. Yorga gets 3. 1v2 situation, but one person is super low.
Ooh, looking for the ace. You have a very healthy Yoru, and now you have a very big 5 stack that goes down to the hands of Georgia Smith's BF. So if there's one way to do it, it's catching everyone by surprise. It was looking like a very hot and cooked attack, but when they caught him by surprise, especially from the hookah position, there was only one way to go. And with your Sky very hurt, they cannot self-heal. I wish there was a way to take your overgrowth ability and shove it into your own chest cavity and get some amount of HP, but it's just not going to happen. So we're walking around number 5, and that's now 2 recently for Aiden's e-Kittens, and Saucy's Posse is going to be worse for wear. Georgia trying to immediately down check and see who's here.
TB so gets a little bit of information, but manages to push them off a little bit. However, presence being made with that boombot towards alongside, they know that slowly but surely inching up, especially with that orb being taken. Got the showstopper ready for that take towards A. It looks like they're going to be a full commit towards that A site.
Trying to rush it in with the double tap. Oh, but they are met and they are split up, especially with that mosh pit. Maple catches them by surprise and takes advantage of the fact that the entire party was split up. Aiden gets a wallbang headshot, and this is just looking like more of the same. Can they get that down and distance, just full on gun battery by the end of these kittens? They're looking more like tigers at this point, but still, this will be a nice diffuse. And Saucy's Posse, they've caught 3 recently, but that was the product of an Arsenal differential. We got to go into this next round and see what this gun round will look like.
With the gun run coming out as well. Oh my god, 3-2. The defenders are pulling away just by the slightest of slight margin. So don't count the attackers out just yet. And especially with that take there, looks like they're gonna go for a stack towards the B side from the defenders. As A side Jorga being super confident on these early kind of engages, just making sure to, get some action or just like get some information has been helping out the team a lot.
Yeah, and Georgia's at 8-2 right now. They've got the dimensional draft, and they're gonna be facing them down 3 people. And yet, when they do, it ends up with them falling early. They didn't have an escape plan. They did not have that gate crash, and now getting hit by the Pathfinder. Double tap online again, and that's gonna be a bonus shield on top. You also have the showstopper. Chubbers is just gonna go straight towards truck, tell everyone it's good to go. But from heaven is exactly where they're gonna send ice as they try to even the odds.
Aiden just trying his best to get 1-2, get a little contact, drawing some of that attention away. Carrier on that flank, just waiting, potentially get chambered down, but now knowing that he's flanking, Carrier's gonna have to speed up this take there. Gets one clean shot, looking for the second, knows that Chubbers is close by, but Chubbers waiting in wait, gets the kill onto Carrier.
You got the Thrash online, but nope, not going to be used anymore. The Pokemaster falls to the floor. They use the Molly to be able to separate them from getting a diffuse early. Aloe has to commit to this, and this is just going to be too much damage. Orbital Strike's getting invested a bit early. You had 2 players up. Could have used that for later. They at least baited away, and Aloe's going to just survive to play another day. Pooptas is going to check behind them because they recognize that this is going to be a committed on the save, but everyone's going to keep their guns that is surviving now. Zealand, I feel like that orbital strike was a hair trigger finger there for their brim. That got used a little bit early.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, especially with the Molly already on the bomb, the orbital strike just seemed a little bit overkill, especially in a 2v1 situation. Play some high-low, little action there, play together, should be able to secure the round, but you never know. These players could be absolutely cracked, a 1-2 headshot could just happen and turn that round around, but we would never know.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you know what? They know better than I. They're the ones that are playing the game in the first place. And hey, it's dead even. So this time around, Georgia's able to have their gate crash open, and they do have an escape plan, channeling that, getting out. Spike is traveling it back to A. They have checked A, checked A, checked A. B was their first contingent in those first couple of rounds in this first half. Since then, they've found some promise. You are going to have that showstopper right around the corner. Peekaboo, poop tax. They see you. Diarrhea down the toilet. Showstopper just to scare them away. Maple doesn't not recognize. They're right around the corner.
No!
What a horror game this has become.
Oh my god, 2v4, Putex managed to get the bomb down, but with 2 defenders on that retake, it's gonna look kind of rough, especially on this gun round. But Showstopper is available. Don't know if they're gonna invest that in, especially with the smoke coming out towards that heaven sign. Blocks a little bit of information. 1-2 spots out 2 people, ends up being digged. 14 health left in the health bar, just trying his best. So Nate gets 1, but doesn't know there's 1 behind on triple. Pooptax finishes out, carry a 1v1 situation, doesn't know where Pooptax is right now, flashes out, seekers are available as well. It's just so hard. Carrier guessing the wrong side, with Pooptax flashing, full flash, but the secures the round and diffuses the bomb. Carrier is just on fire.
Bringing the rain and the pain for the end of that round off of the whip from the guiding light. They toss it around that front side jigsaw there from mid sight, and it was all about completing the run. But hey, you know what? I blinked the sun out of my eyes during the workday too, and that's exactly what we got out of Carrier, standing strong in front of the top slayer on this side of Saucy's Posse. So they win that duel, they go back to 4-3, and look how many ultimates are online. I'm betting at least 2 of these get burned this round.
I definitely want to see that Viper spit potentially with that defense hold. Super, super strong, but we'll see. Maybe even use on that post plan, retake situation. Currently, the spike is down. Yorga is just going crazy. Gets 2. Flash is coming in. Yorga still looking for another one. Gets a 3rd. Smoke is down, trying to get the bomb, but Yorga once again playing the ever aggressive role as a duelist, trying to look for another, looking and thirsty for the 4th. Carrier gets the 2nd one and gets 2. Oh my god, what a fast round. Flawless coming from the defenders. No ults really being used.
Yeah, the only one that ended up happening on the entirety of the map was the Tour de Force, and that was to try and get some ground when they didn't have a great buy. They definitely were in the bin, and they've been basically in this cycle of suffering, having to light buy or maybe just full thrifty, and otherwise having to just wait for a later round to be able to get to some rifle. They did find at least some shots down lane, but that long B position was owned by Georgia and their Yoru. So they stayed in that garden position. It's a very strong position, whether you want to throw your TP towards alternate or I guess alternate TP, or you throw it all the way back towards elbow where they have it now. But look how calm they want to take this. They're trying to wait for this defense to get too aggressive.
No, but the attackers are on the buy round. But after this, if they do lose this round, they're going to have to go on that half by the save. Georgia playing really aggressive, but the timing so close to getting picked towards long, but ends up TPing there, trying to fake out the TP potentially as the three defenders are trying to take that position towards long. But Poop Tax gets two. Aiden ends up trading out, but for 2v1 special, it's not looking quite worth. Carrier gets the spike down. They know that it's available down towards short side, but look at how much space is being taken towards the elbow and towards CT. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're wildly surrounded. They don't even know it yet until they take a shot in the dark, and then Thrash is going to go out, seeing if they can identify where in the world at least one is. They're going to pick their ultimate back up. That's going to come back in around 6 to 8 seconds. Spike is still under control. Nice right around the corner. They take one. The second falls. Carrier has been clutched this entire time since a round ago or so. Both bots just take each other out. It's raise on raise damage in action, a 1v1. This is totally not Saucy Soy because they're in the chat. Look at their sub come through. Carrier good for 3, and they continue to reign supreme.
Carrier looking like prime Derek right now. Oh my god, clutch master coming in. Love that. Not even just in the 1v2 situation, but even at the very end, the orb coming in, saving that orb for the bomb in particular. Very, very smart. But now again, the attackers losing that round was so expensive. They had to go on that kind of half buy situation, while the defenders are looking quite wealthy, quite cash money, if I would say so myself.
Yeah, this is the rich getting richer, and on the other end of things, this attack is becoming a little bit more sour for Saucy and the Posse. So Georgia are going to hang out at least towards teleporter side, a very aggressive stance. If you have actually that gate crash in hand, so they're just kind of waiting to receive everyone. They end up falling through TP, losing on that initial fight as this goes and just makes for a rush. Even with lesser in the arsenal, you're going to see orbital strike invested to try and delay the plants, trying to meet the man-to-man, seeing if they can win it purely on the gun skirmish.
Oh my god, the nade ends up connecting but cannot get a name. As the rest of the team are scrambling, trying to keep site secured. Love how someone's backing up towards the long side as well as towards Hookah to try to get a little bit more of a different angle for when they come out. But Showstopper's still available for a low below as they're maybe trying to find that timing. Showstopper's coming out, does end up connecting on covers, and Ice gets to 3K 2v2 situation. Flash is coming out. Blue Tag gets one, but gets straight out by Aiden. 1v2, but make that 1v2, of course, with this. Oh my god, Aiden gets a kill onto Saucy.
Not Saucy Soy. Looking like a decoy all their own. They knew they were under the wire, having to deal with the fact that the wingman was getting the defuse, and holding on for dear life was Aiden to the door, looking like my man Hodor in Game of Thrones as he tries to just simply keep the Frenchman at bay. And as they walk through that mosh pit, they're taking a little bit of that tick damage, but ultimately it was Aiden that kept their cool. I love that you still see Poop Tax being impactful, especially from that hookah position as they swung out with the guiding light, but they just get caught on the swing. And how many times now have we seen 1v1s at the end of these rounds? It just feels like they're finding them a lot more than I thought this would end up being.
The retakes have been really clean, you know, not just just knowing when to back off of sight, but knowing when to re-aggress and group up with the rest of the team. Kira taking that really aggressive position towards Hookah, but ends up being picked up by Chubbers, which opens up the site. They do know that the controller on B side is now gone. Yorga by himself on the site gets one. Their contracts coming in 1v1. Let's see who's the better one, Ice or Jorga. Oh my god, Ice. The shield saves the day, gets a kill onto Jorga, bringing it 3v4.
Know that they came back though, and so they know that they can kind of protect them, wait on them. It becomes a 3v4. Aiden is going for this long swing. They clear up Poop Tax that has been the top slayer on this squad. Boombot is unable to do much more, but the Molly takes away some space. So Maple very hurt, and they're running out of time. They're starting to feel like it could be a save, but they've won so many successive rounds. You don't really got to do it. That vulnerability is going to put Aloe in a bad position. You put out the at least the shells, and now they just have to tap it. They use the mosh pit. They're going to try and clear them. Did they see them? They're just going to try and stick it. They go for the kill. They get it to half. They look towards the ground. They aim for it. Oh my goodness. They clutch up again.
The plant was just not good for that angle there. Oh my god, Hail Monkey Man. I don't know. I don't know what to say, Hail. Like, honestly, that plant was just unfortunate, especially with two people holding from that hookah side. You know, if you just tuck into a specific corner, just keep your head down, you can get a free defuse.
Yeah, it's tough because they thought they had a nice just I guess general angle. You can wall bang a little bit of that. You can even do it through the window if you have kind of just that known lineup right there. I think you observe it. You get right there from off that window. But they wanted it to be an open kind of skirmish. Take that fight, ego check it. But we go into the final round of this first half. This defense has been supreme for Aiden and the e-Kittens, and Aloe already getting rid of Iced. We're gonna go even 4-4.
Yeah, and Jorga, the raid boss is down, guys. Brings some more confidence towards the attacker side as they're now going for a fight towards that shower side. Showstopper coming out, but so much util being thrown. Maple gets a kill with the Molly as well. Showstopper ends up getting Aiden. Thrash is gone for the count from this round. And remember, this is the last round for this half. Once this is over, we're switching over to the other side. They're going to have to play this a little bit slowly, but with Keria, with so much space towards B, just knows that, hey guys, they're towards shower, still towards A. We have so much presence. It's just gonna be so hard to re-clear these angles.
Yeah, they know that too. That's why they're going slow. They're trying to also bait out maybe a timing, seeing, okay, all right, who's going to check some of these short side angles? They know Aloe got actually that first pick when it came from lamps. So, but this is giving Keria a huge chance. If this ends up working out, they'll be right behind everyone. You're going to have the Sky Smoke go down. Orbital Strike is going to actually catch out Aloe. They take the longest path possible, 140 HP, and that's down the drain. They clear out Maple as well, but Keria has not been found as of yet. If Aloe can simply survive the rest of this, they might be able to do it from behind. Two fall, 12 seconds to be able to get this plant. It's stuck over a truck. Not Saucy. They're not so either. As Keria finds two, it was the longest play possible, but it worked out.
The patience play was definitely it, but also the flank towards that short side of to deny the plan with the time ticking slowly but surely down. That was so smart and so well done by the defenders there. Now we're switching from by the attackers. My apologies. But now, yeah, the switching sides right now. Let's take a look at what's going on towards, you know, now that sides are switched. Looks like it's going to be a lean towards that A side, but again, pistols could be anything. If you win this pistol round, you could go for a buy for the second round and snowball a streak potentially.
Yeah, I like this position. Obviously, you're going to have some conditioning. The toxic screen is going to be pretty much laid here almost every single round, depending on how you want to run it, because it just sets up, all right, we have to plant at least one or two people outside of truck and over and toward lamp side, and it allows you to either flex into that short side of A or to be able to run over towards B instead. There's going to be a bit of fighting, especially as they go for the knife fight. Seen for all of a second. A couple will fall, and Razes are really getting their impact here. Double tap does save Ice's life, as that spike falls into open waters.
Cannot get a name, gets a clean shot onto Keria, and Ice falls with a shot onto Aloe below. Defenders with a really clean ending to that first pistol round, bringing them into the second round of this half.
All right, so now this is something they ultimately need, Z-Line, because if they lost this one, we could have almost chalked it up. But you have just one off of getting your double digits. You go into round 13, it's going to be another full save. And I do like this attack composition because you have the ability to control so much known information off of these controllers. But they're not going to have the majority of that util to be able to walk in with, at least for this one. You just condition them with that talk screen. But Ice can ignore all of that. ADS, baby. Look at this.
ADSM with the buy ups as well. Little bit of a risk, but definitely trying to make it worth backing out just to make sure, hey guys, I don't want to get traded out, especially with this bulldog. Giving a bulldog to attackers would be so huge. With 3 people stacked on A, looks like Chambers rotating over to that A side makes it available. With 4 people stacked onto A, it's going to be quite hard for the attacking team to take that. And as they know that, looks like they're rotating quick towards that B side with Sky by himself on the site. Oh, and that toxic screen still on that default A. The options are limitless.
Yeah, they actually burned a lot through the poison. I guess extra poison to go and make sure. All right, well, you have to stay planted before we start rotating around. So Poop Tax pretty much has the idea of that. That you can see at least that Sky Smoke go down. They have to pop into the flash. That decoy is found as the Marshal will find its way through. And because they bought no shields, nothing, just one straight to the body, and they fall like bowling pins under a strike. Carrier in an interesting position though. Oh, they do catch him by surprise. They're gonna have at least one weapon to work with as we go into a 4v2, and they can TP away, but their hands don't have the spike.
Aiden just not giving a care in the world, just with the pistols out, but with the bulldog in the hands of Carrier, it's not over yet. 12 seconds running out of time. Gets 2, but unfortunately cannot get a name. Just finish us Carrier as it brings into 9-5.
All right, so you did cause a little bit of damage. I feel like we're just spinning deja vu right now, Z-Lion, as we saw. I think it was only one fall into the follow-up of the pistol at the very beginning of this. Now we go into round number 3. It is going to be rifles in the hands of the Aiden's e-Kittens, and on the other end, Saucy's Posse trying to hold on for dear life. Kind of that minor bonus, a couple buy-ups coming in as well. Half shields here for Poop Tax as they want to prioritize making sure everyone has at least some extra health on that overgrowth, but it's a 3-2 split. They're going to see what kind of damage can be solved and resolved by their Yoru as well as their Brim, as they at least keep each lane respectable. They're going to throw a Wingman out. Wingman wanted to throw hands as well.
Well, Wingman not quite clearing and doesn't really quite see anybody, but they does push back, but Cannot Getting does end up getting a kill onto Carrier. Poop Tax, knowing that there's a Euro clone towards that B long side, knows that it's going to probably be a default with the team kind of split up here. Georgia trying to find potential kill here, or potential pick. Oh, but Poop Tax answers right back, gets a kill there. A little below, gets a kill onto Ice as well. 3v4. Now it's going to open up that A side going towards the heaven, but Chubbers by himself and U-Haul is looking quite stuck. Is going to be get collapsed on by the attacking team.
Yeah, numbers coming in from that long iron hall position. Aloe gets one from heaven and then makes sure to vacate. Chubbers finds another, becomes a 3v2. You don't have any ultimates to really kind of work with, so it's all going to be on major sight lines. Cannot get a name. They have to walk straight through the fire. They catch him looking, and then they get cooking. They cannot get a name. Well, their name is Fire, as they are red hot. And that'll be a 3rd in a row. Now this time for Saucy's Posse, and that's going to cause an eco situation right now, Z-Line, for Aiden's e-Kittens.
Can I get a name? More like, can I get some money for the attackers right now? They're looking quite poor after that buy there, making the defenders, you know, the Saucy's Posses are looking so healthy, as you said, with those upgrades on guns, and it's going to force the e-Kittens to have to go on those half buys with Stingers in check. But, you know, with the shots coming out by the e-Kittens, I wouldn't count them out just yet, though.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of a step off, maybe a week and a half off from US Black Friday, in case you guys want early coupons. Maybe they can turn this into a thrifty and pick up some weapons on the ground. But Ice has been at least good for 1 for the majority of these rounds. Carrier knows that, and then they are unable to win that duel. Georgia, they do so. And that's going to be a showstopper that is popped, even if it's all of a deterrent. They jump through it.
Ew, disgusting. What am I watching? A low below. Disrespects the showstopper, just comes out swinging with the Stinger. And now with the upgrade with that Vandal, just holding this off angle towards CT side, looking for 1. Showstopper's available for a low as well, as Ice and the rest of the team are struggling on this retake.
Dax trying to be able to take the swing. They ignore Maple just completely, except for the headshot. They are going to be very low. Wall comes out. Iced wants to get back in there. You have a showstopper for, again, another deterrence moment, but Aloe is playing deep into that. Oh my goodness! Bringing down bullets like it is a ball-peen hammer, and they are just a board to be rocked. A thrifty. I was half joking about the coupons, but apparently they wanted them.
Oh my god, don't even think about coupons. Think about online sales, Cyber Monday, everything. The thrifty is crazy. I just can't get over the fact that Alo just disrespected the showstopper. Usually people will use a showstopper as, like, you know, when you hear that, it's kind of like a zoning ult as well too, right? Because you hear that you don't want to get hit. Usually you allow a little bit more space for whoever the showstopper on whatever team is on, you know, give them a little bit more space to not get hit. But the disrespect is crazy. And it paying off is even crazier.
And then now when you kind of see what they've been able to stabilize with, they grab those first three. A thrifty ends up paying off in a big way. Investments, dividends. I'm not teaching macroeconomics, but you can come to my clinic every now and then. Thrash and Showstopper will be here. Both very much impact ults as well as zoning ults, just to be able to buy some time pre or post ult or plant. Now with at least the util for this chamber tagged away. See if they can land it. No, they have two guys to look left. Oh, but Pooptex finds it through the gap.
Ooh, but Yorga answers right back and trades it out so fast, despite the smoke coming in. Wingman's gonna come in to get that plant down, with Dizzy being reclaimed and the Molly coming in as well to back out and push the defenders back. A full retake in session. However, the attackers are looking quite patient right now, buying as much time as they can for Jorga to go for that big flank. But looks like the defenders might be aware. No, not aware enough. But the smoke saves them, as Jorga has to now slowly but surely make more space to come out. But they don't know. Patience is a play. 1, 2, doesn't fuck single, cannot get an aim, shuts that down and gets the second as well. 1v2, cannot get an aim, half. But Carrier finishes off as attackers win another beautiful round.
You know what? The chat's been talking about checking someone's PC, but they defeat the one man that had a shield, and then immediately opposite of that, I think it was Chubbers, swung round and into Jorga on the other end of that. But still, it ended up being a finishing of the play that came through there for Aiden's e-Kittens. So Aloe, Jorga, they still have their ultimates. You're one off from having that Viper Pit, and not only will those two ultimates be able to lock someone down or be able to get a kill, a major pick that you can flex from, but if they walk into these possible final rounds here, Z-Line, with that ultimate, they can zone anyone away, especially with a giant Viper Pit that you'd have to walk through. But Jorga, they should be able to work with this if they can just find some extra information, but cannot get a name. They have to retreat all the way back. They're gonna follow this util.
Yeah, they're gonna just follow you just to make sure, you know, guys, I have the Euro TP, guys. I have it, okay? I promise you I have it. I got it. And Pooptax waiting for, you know, that first contact off of chamber. And Wingman finds him first, however, gets the flash. Unfortunately, doesn't quite connect. But it gets one, actually. Second one, the Jorga is down. I repeat, Yoru is down. Saucy holding that angle from Hookah, trying to find, but Alo is just better. Clean shots, gets a kill there. Dizzy finds one. Showstopper's gonna come in, gets connect onto cannot get a name. Chubbers with the classic gets a kill there, as Maple is now trying to clear off that backside potentially, but heads towards elbow.
This is the first time we're actually seeing this rotation. This has been very honest rounds for the majority of this match here, Z-Line. Every time they're like, all right, we're gonna go to one place, they end up going to that place. But we have seen flexing in these rotations here for the e-Kittens as they end up moseying through the TP, and they're gonna be planting back towards A. Weapons will be picked up though for the two remaining, but Maple is here to receive. Oh, Ice had no idea, but then they get cut by behind from their doppelganger. It becomes a 1v2, but a lot of ground to make up.
Oh my god, 2v1. This just, the plan has been down. A lot of times being wasted right now as Carrier is just doubling up with Aiden towards the shower side. I gotta say, this is looking pretty raps for the defenders right now, as it could potentially push this over to match point. Chubbers, not a lot of util left, does have the Molly available, trying to get that defuse. Molly does end up pushing off the attacker slightly, but with Dizzy, it's just so hard. 4K for Chubbers, but match point for the other team.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough uphill battle regardless, but I mean, from what they got, it's not impossible. You should be able to have full kits, full buys. You do have the Viper's Pit online, and within that, you also have the Dimensional Drift from out of Jorga, as they should be able to just pretty much have known information wherever they decide to plant it. But look at this 4-stack. I want to know if this sticks. You do have the TP to get them out of harm's way. If not, Saucy Soy wants to go and rejoin the rest of the team, but they believe that this read is what they're going to find. In opposite, the 4-1's going the other way.
And with the Viper, you know, the wall coming through, it does give for, you know, the opportunity for default. But with the stack on A, it looks like they guessed wrong, as this actually a hit towards B. But playing patiently towards CT, we got, you know, Saucy here trying to find one, but Jorga is just too strong. Contract comes out, Ice versus Alo, and Alo, I cannot get a name, and Ice are just both getting their kills there.
Land's still down. They do have the Thrash. Orbital Strike will come through. Jorga's gonna have to TP away. They know exactly where they're gonna be. Standing in front of them. They ain't going nowhere. The last thing you get to see is giant Australian forehead. They have the Thrash for time. Will they expend it right now? They're halfway on this spike. It's a 3v1. Should be able to simply hold it if they wanna. They are tippy tapping. Everyone is very low. They find the first. Can they get that second? Aiden gets on the wall bang. And now they either have to fully commit, go for the duel. Iced. They just have to play cat and mouse this entire time. They should be able to bleed it out the rest of the way. 13-6. Aiden clutches up, and that'll be Aiden's e-Kittens captain, shutting him down.
Aiden's e-Kittens coming through, especially at the very end. Aiden in that 1v3 situation, I gotta say that was quite the highlight. Knowing when to kind of try to isolate those fights, not swinging too wide, which allows for more than one opponent to peek off, you know, during that defuse, but also prioritizing those targets as well, knowing that, hey guys, there's 3 people alive, I gotta make sure whoever's on that bomb gets off, and then slowly but surely bring into a 1v1 with Thrash still available, by the way. That was you still had Thrash there, so that was pretty raps, bringing into a clean finish of 13-6. Quite well done by the e-Kittens.
Honestly, I feel like for a moment they were trying to bait the Thrash to get used so that they could kind of work immediately up into Aiden when they were channeling. But Aiden was just cool as a cucumber and just making sure to consistently kind of go side to side off of those swift swings. So it worked out really well for them, Z Lion. And honestly, this was a team that was initially under the pressure of Saucy's Posse, but they took control. It was 3-3 the last time both of these squads were dead even, and that was through the first 6 rounds, and then 13 rounds later, well, you obviously see the result. Congratulations, Aiden's able to take this round 3 of Intramurals.
Of course. And, you know, speaking of intramurals, don't forget we do have interviews coming as well, featuring the e-Kittens, of course. So we're gonna take a quick little break, everybody, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being so patient with us during that break as we set up with the interview. And we have a special guest right here, Mr. Elo Below from Aiden's e-Kittens. Hello. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. And yeah, let's get right into the questions here. My first question is, first of all, that disrespect with the raise all the showstopper at the end there. What happened? Like, what was going on through your head? I was talking about that during the break too.
Wait, which raise showstopper?
The showstopper at the very end where you got disrespected by the other race, I think, because they were down. And
There was
then,
a moment, yeah, you were on A site and the showstopper was right there and you just jumped right over it. You said, nah, and just went.
Oh, see, I was like, okay, I heard it coming. I'm scared it's coming short because there were like 4 of us huddled there. I was like, okay, I satchel over it, and it kind of just worked out. I'm surprised. I was planning to take him down with me so that I clear 1 for 1. I take a trade, team gets the site, and I somehow lived. I was not expecting to live.
Well, it ended up working out for you. Are you a primary kind of like a raise duelist main? What do you sit on to, I guess, for your agency? And I guess how do you like to kind of play that into a lot of these teams? Because it felt like, especially off of some of the Yoru flexing, that you guys were just bringing a lot of pressure. No senti, no problem. How's all kind of work for you?
So I am basically a one-trick raise main.
Okay.
So I was
Okay.
really happy to see Bind because I'm really comfortable playing Raise on Bind. And then we're like, you know what? Yoru is really good on Bind. Let's bring Yoru. If there's any map we're bringing Yoru, it's Bind. So we brought the Yoru. And then we were talking about Cypher or Viper.
Okay.
We decided that you talked about the No Sentinel, but we figured that Viper would be, like, I guess, strong enough in a sense, but also really give us that extra, like, the wall and the extra flexibility on the offense.
Yeah, and honestly, like Viper itself, they're kind of like a half sentinel to that same degree. And I mean, some people have said, all right, they're not viable anymore, but I feel like that's greatly exaggerated. You still have smokes that go across the board. But I guess for yourself in particular, you go into intramurals like this, you get to play with the squad. What does this kind of like present to you for opportunity, finding these kind of these matches you get to play, and how does that kind of play into kind of your school studies here for the University of Toronto? Do you get to make a lot of time for games, or is it just not as many hours as you really want to be able to cook?
I mean, to be honest, obviously, I would love to be playing a lot more games than I am right now. Obviously, school's always busy, and I'm like, okay, I got to balance. But this is a nice way to be like, okay, even though I'm playing games, it still feels more productive, at least, than me just solo queuing at night, Like, at least I'm, playing in a team, meeting new people, making new friends.
Heck yeah, that's nice.
And yeah, and speaking of intramurals, these are not the last opponents that you will be facing off against, right? You also got playoffs coming up too soon if you guys make it, and there's just gonna be future opponents are gonna come. So, do you have any messages for your future opponents on behalf of yourself and your team? Anyone, any particular team want to start beef with? Maybe a little friendly competition drama as we have here. No
I
pressure,
don't
by
want
the
to
way.
make enemies. I'm scared of making enemies, but I would. I personally, I kind of want to rematch Woman Lovers in the playoffs because we lost to them game one in
Okay.
overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like there's a little bit of a rematch would be really cool if both of us could make this to playoffs.
A
Nice.
little competition there. I hear a little rivalry there with the women lovers there from the last week's match. I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, speaking of that, I will also like a moment to thank our lovely sponsors for this stream, BMO. And to help you focus on what's important, BMO has checking and savings account, credit cards, and borrowing options specifically designed for students. Plus, get up to 12 months of Domino's Pizza, which is worth $190. I know you guys love pizza, okay?
Wow.
With BMO's current students offers, visit bmo.com/students for details. And also don't forget to check out their BMO Next Level Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/BMO_NXTLVL. And they're live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And it's run by Sean Frame, a lovely BMO gaming relations specialist. And Sean brings a commitment to helping viewers achieve their financial goals and has a passion for gaming as an active member of the gaming community. So make sure everybody to check that out. And thank you once again, Below, for joining us for a lovely interview. And congratulations again from winning
Yeah. Thanks for
tonight's
having me.
intramural game, of course. And thank you everyone as well for coming and joining us for our streams. And we look forward to seeing you guys more in our coming streams for Valorant, Overwatch, and potentially other games as well. See you guys later.